Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger, the inventor of a fantastic cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All. And let me tell you, we have a fantastic show. I cannot believe when I posted this necklace and the bracelet on my Instagram page, I got so much positive feedback and, everyone loved the design. And what's so interesting and cool about this, it is like unbelievably easy. I mean, if you know even just how to do like a basic macrame, then that's how I did the bail. Let me show you like how the bracelet ended up coming out. And this project is mostly about the necklace, and if I have time at the end, I'll cover the bracelet, because what happened was after I made the necklace, I had enough stringing material left over, but barely for the necklace. So the next time that I made it, I knew like how to adjust the string so that I could successfully make a bracelet without having just to barely eke by. Because I tell you guys, I was down to like the last 1/10 of a millimeter as far as like thread goes. It was so scary, and you never want to be in a situation like that. Also, if you're new to this platform, just welcome. Leave comments down below where you're watching from. Even if you're like a seasoned old timer, just say hello and let me know, and everyone else, where you're watching from. And also, you can leave comments, ask questions down below. If you want to shop any of the items, they are available for like a more in-depth description, so you can add them to your cart. And don't forget to check out at the end of the show. And most importantly, I do not have the bandwidth to watch on both, this at the JTV platform and on Facebook. And I know that a lot of you watch the show on Facebook and you ask questions and leave comments. And I just want you to know that I cannot see those. So if you hop on over, you could catch the link on my website or go to the JTV Extra site. That way you can be in the live stream that I can actually see, because it just kills me that I see these questions and comments after the show. And guys, trust me, I do not have enough space to have more computers in this studio. So that is probably the best way if you have any questions or comments. And let's see, anything else? Heart button. If you like anything that I say, or you see something, interesting, you can hit the heart button just to let me and everyone else know that it is something that you like and that you're interested in. Before we go any further, I want to talk about the items that are on today's show, and then we'll do my favorite part, the customer showcase, and then we'll get to the project. The first two items we have on today's show, we have both of our the Knotty-Do-It-Alls. This one is our original, and then we have the travel board. And I'll tell you guys, if you like making any kind of jewelry with stringing material, whether it's leather, silk, nylon, polyester, Chinese knotting cord, anything, then this tool is a must-have, because it does three things. It keeps tension on the cord. You can keep measurement while you work. And the most important thing is you can get your hands underneath your work, while you're, doing your thing. And it has a lot of features. It just makes working with stringing materials so much easier. You get all the pins and clips. And what's neat, you can see all these holes. They're all very, you can reconfigure as you go. So if you're working on an odd piece, no problem. You could just reconfigure, your pins and clips as you need them. And there are so many. Every time I do this show, I say, there's X number of lessons available, but it's gotten to where there are literally over 100 at this point. There are so many. So if you go on my website and look under JTV Extra, there are at least 50 different projects there. And then under Knotty Lessons, which you get a password for, there are just way more. It's just incredible. And you can use the little one side by side with the big board, but they are both equally, completely, totally awesome, well-made, very durable tools. And for those of you that prefer the DVD, we do supply that. But, like I said, there is so much more content available online. And let's see what we have next. I think we have the Miyuki. Okay, this is this spool. It is 50 meters, size B. I do not work with Miyuki. I have a bunch of it here, and I want to. So I don't know if size A is bigger than size C. So all I know is that it is a size B, and it's got a very nice sheen to it. So that is one really nice thing about this stringy material. And let's see. Ooh, these are really cool. I made these really cool like bracelets. Let me see if I can show them to you. I mean, they're, I don't know, they just ended up like really like super like dainty and like adorable. Let's see if we have that here. See that? Look how cute these are. So they just make a nice, simple, like little, let me move my junk here. But look how cute these are. Just with Chinese knotting cord, just real simple, like moose knots. And then I did a macrame slide knot on the end. And I had a few more here. I don't know what happened to them, but you know, I kind of combined them with a, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But look how cute they came out really, really nice. So cute. So if you have a like a bunch of Christmas presents that you need to make, then I mean, I think the price is like really good. These are you get 50 for $29.99, and that's like less than $1, and really, really cute. And let's see. Okay, these, okay, I gotta talk about these guys. It says that they're clasps, okay, but I'm not convinced because I think that they are bails. Because see, if you notice, there isn't like a place to connect like a ring or anything. See that? So you could just push this little thing open. And it's stainless steel, and it's really nicely made. It just feels really good. And it's not very big either. I mean, they're like they're kind of tiny, I would say, because you can see I have them in my hand. And I thought, you know what? These are perfect for bails. You know, if you want to just put like a pendant on a necklace, and you get 15 of these. I mean, this is like one of those things you have to have because you never know when you just want to put a pendant on something, and it just I'll show it to you one more time because it just looks so good. Check it out. See that? Perfect. Very, very nice. Okay, so let's see what we have next. Okay, let's take a look. Orange and yellow agate. Okay, that top right northeast. Okay, so these are like kind of long. It says here that they're 22 millimeters, so that's a little bit under an inch. And you know, honestly, I mean, I think that they would look just as nice like today's project. Today's project I made with the lace agate, the rice shape. But honestly, I think these would work. And it says they're agate. I mean, doesn't it look like carnelian to you? I mean, I don't know. It looks like, I don't know. I love carnelian and I love orange agates. And so you get oh, this is even cooler, guys. You get four strands, not just one, four. And it's $39.99 for four. That's like $10 a strand. That's a good deal. And you know what? And you'll be able to make a really cool necklace. Like after you watch today's show, you'll be like, I'll take them. And these are the ones I'm using. Lace agate. Okay, these are 27 millimeters. That's about a little over an inch. And I would say the holes are like they're big. I mean, I was able to feed a 14 millimeter like Griffin, not 14 millimeter. What am I talking about? Size 14. Griffin cord through twice. So, I mean, so that gives you an idea of how like big the holes are. And let's see. Ooh, these, you know, when I was looking at these, I did not know that they are large hole beads. And you know, guys, everyone needs large hole beads, like always, like for an accent here or something. But this is the pitcher jasper, Dalmatian stone, and black obsidian. And these are 8.5 millimeters. And I mean, you need, like, I've got a stash or like a drawer with large hole beads. Like, let me see if I even have them marked, my large hole bead drawer. Let me show you because, you know, you always need a large, see that? So I just have like a little variety because you never know when you're going to need a large hole bead because it just creeps up on you and you're just like, I wish I had that one large hole bead. And plus they're pretty. I mean, the obsidian is shiny. I mean, you can't go wrong with these. But let me see, how much are these? $34.99. And so you can get them on stretch pay for $11.66. So that's not bad. let's see, in the strand, I don't even know how long the strands are, but I'm going to guess they're about 16, but definitely get them. And last, these beads, oh, they were in the show a couple of shows ago, and I had made just a black knotted necklace, and I don't know what I did with it, but it came out really nice, real simple, real elegant. I think I did I did like red thread in between, and it just came out really, really nice. And this I believe it was 16 millimeters for the larger ones, and then 14, and then 12, and then the smaller the ones on the top, those are 6 millimeter, and then the ones on the very, very bottom, that's like a rice shape, which I really, really like those too, because let me show you. I couldn't decide. I kind of sort of went nuts, and I haven't finished it yet, but I ended up making. I haven't finished them, but just real simple. Look at that. You could take some of your leftover griffin cord that you might have, just make a really cute, like simple, like bracelet. Check it out, just real cute. And then I made one that was just knotted, and this one I'll end up. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And then, oh my gosh, let's go over here. And then I made these with I had one of these left, and then so I mixed it with the other ones just to make like a bracelet that's going to be like that, just like stackers, real cute. So I mean, they're a nice like accent set of beads to have just in case you need an extra this, that, or the other. Very nice. Anyway, guys, those are all the products that are on today's show. Now let's get back to me. I'll say a few words, and then we'll get started with today's awesome lesson. First, I forgot to wish everyone like a happy Halloween, and I'm going to be a gorilla. I've always wanted to. I think it's in my blood. Man, I'm going to be a gorilla for Halloween. So I leave down in the comments down below if you're dressing up for Halloween. I want to know what you're going to be. Also, Sarah, our prayers for your brother. I read here that he is in the ICU after a surgery, and please, I hope he's going to be okay. So, like everybody, let's just say a prayer for Sarah's brother and hope that he's going to be okay. My favorite part of the show is the customer showcase, because you guys just always bring down the house. So let's get to it. Okay, first we have this necklace, Linda, Northern Virginia, and she said this was her first necklace. I think for a first necklace, especially with the sliding knot and everything, I think it looks like really cool. And I was looking at the way the pearl strand was connected, and I have no idea how you did it. That looks very, very interesting. And those little brown balls, they look like they've got these little glittery things in them. So that's really cool. And I love those pearls. The teardrop shaped pearls are one of my big favorites. So very, very nice. And next we have Ann, Arizona. Oh my gosh, I love this color combination, guys. Isn't that fantastic? The red with the green and the gold. And this one is macrame. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a nice color combination. It's so juicy. I love it. And then next, another one from Ann, Arizona. Okay, I have no idea how to do this. That's all I can say. It looks extremely difficult. And I know it's some kind of Celtic knot. But look at all the macrame on the side. Man, that's like one solid bracelet. It just looks so pretty. One of these days I got to learn how to do this, because I think it would make an interesting lesson. And next we have Sabine, Germany. I was teasing some of you guys that submitted these lessons, because even though I messed up, part of the lesson last week, you guys understood. But look at this, beautiful. Got the gold with the carnelian. And then that little gold charm, so, so pretty. I love it. I just want to bite this one. It's like candy. And then next we have Laura Lee, Florida. Oh my goodness, check it out. It's got the heart with the bail work is perfect right in the middle there. And then you got the knotting. You nailed it. Perfect. It is fantastic. It's got got the slider, those pretty beads on the ends, that nice button. Perfect. You did a great job, Laura Lee. And then next we have Nancy. Okay, this one was done with wire, and this is a macrame. You can do it with like stringy material, but Nancy did this with wire, and there's another one that she did with the copper wire. Let's see. I know it's either going to be next or it's like further down a bit, but you'll see it in a second. Ah, there it is. Um, I have never like macrameed with wire. I'm going to imagine that the wire has to be pretty soft to be able to pull this off, but I think it looks really, really nice. Very interesting. And plus, I am clueless as to how the ends were done, especially with wire. But that is really nice. Thank you, Nancy. And next, Ann, Arizona. Look at that. Perfect. You guys did such a fantastic job. And I love the little like hand pendant, like right in the middle. And in this bracelet, style, it's so substantial. It's like one of those bracelets that just, oh, you just like love it because it's like heavy, like pretty. It's like amazing. I love it. Oh, Sabine, Germany. Look at this. The Buddha version. Blue, my favorite color of bead is blue. The little beads on the sides, the button, everything. And oh, you fluffed your ends. So there are a lot of different ways to finish the ends. So this one is like really nice. Thank you so much, Sabine. Very pretty. And I love that Buddha. I've never seen a Buddha like that. Let's see. Ooh, okay, Sandy sent in some men's bracelets. So here is man bracelet number 1. This is looks like lava beads, and it looks like coconut. Those coconut beads. I think those were on the JTV show like a long, long time ago. So very, very nice. And then the next one is, I think, Sandy, I think this is the snake knot. I think it is, but I might be wrong. But a snake knot is a very masculine type of knot. So this is like a perfect like guy bracelet. And I like the just real simple cross in the middle. And I can't tell how you finished the end, Sandy, but is that a magnetic clasp? I can't tell, but perfect guy bracelet. And then let's see next. Okay, the last one that Sandy sent in, this one has it looks like snake knot. Oh yeah, it is a magnetic clasp. Okay. And the this is oh my God, lapis lazuli with the silver spacer beads in the middle. That I like that transition, like in the middle where there are no like snake knot things, and then it just goes back into the snake knot. And I could tell that you macrameed like the top end closed, so very, very nice. And let's see who we have next. Boom. Ann, Arizona. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna guess, Ann, that you made that tree pendant, like maybe it's like a tree of life, but look how pretty. It just matches so nicely. Oh my goodness, look at that purple. And I think that's, is that, I don't know, agate or, I don't know. I'm going to guess it's agate. And the way you finish the ends, okay, you've got a leather and then you've got like knotted beads on the end. So that one's really, really pretty. And then a second to the last, Laura Lee, Florida. Oh, when I saw this bracelet, it just, oh, it looks like something that royalty would wear. I mean, doesn't it? And look at the, I don't know what those beads say, those rectangular beads, but Laura Lee is the queen of making cool stuff with rectangular beads because I'm always kind of like nervous, but I've been inspired by, the things that Laura Lee makes. So this is so pretty. Let's see. It's either macrame or half hitch. I don't know. I think it's half hitch. I don't know, but it looks beautiful. And then last, Ann, Arizona. Look at this, guys. Look at just all the variations of the same, basically the same technique, but just the different beads and pendants and buttons that you guys add to they just make everything just like so different. So this is so pretty, and thank you so much. Guys, I want to thank everybody for sending in these fantastic pieces. And remember, if you have anything you'd like to send in, send it to theknotty-do-it-all@gmail.com. Anyway, wasn't that like fantastic? You guys are so like amazing. And there's so many of you guys here. I just want to welcome everyone. I see some new names. I see I don't know, it's Pam new. I see a Penny in Texas. And then there were a couple of other names, and I'll get to them in just a second. But we're going to do today's project, and I hope I don't confuse anybody, because I know that sometimes when I'm like explaining like just like little things, only because I've done this, and then I try to like transfer that knowledge to you. But I think it's going to be good. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, I made this necklace, right? And the thing is, I started like in the middle because I did the bail part first. Okay, so that's understandable. However, this was done on the type of cord that has a built-on needle. That's where this slight little problem comes in, because when you have let's see, I have my thread over here. When you're working with like either like Griffin or like Hawaiian twist cord, you always want to like work like at the end of the string, because you want to be able to keep on using the leftover string for other projects. So when I first made this this necklace, I wasn't sure. I'm like, I have no idea how much cord I'm going to need. So I took the Griffin cord, and like literally I took the whole thing and started in the middle. And by the time, I finished, there was enough left over to make like a bracelet, but like barely. And I'll show you like what the slight little problem is. Okay, because you have to like string on half of your beads. See that? You string on half the beads, then you attach the pendant, and then you string on the other beads. So, because the way it's knotted, it'll probably make sense in just a second. So that is part of what this lesson is going to be about, like basically how much into the cord to put your beads, so that way you have a leftover part to make, well, where'd it go? A bracelet. Just because, you don't want to waste cord because it can be expensive. Okay, so what you're going to need for this project, okay, I'm using the Griffin size 12, okay? However, it will work with the 14. And if you ask, well, because, I'm that type of person, like, which one's better? If you have a 12 or a 14, the one that's better is the one that you have available, because honestly, after you make a 1 and a 12 and a 14, you can't even tell the difference. So like whatever you have is like the best. And one tip, actually it's a tip that's gotten better, because when you take this thread off the card, it's got those kinks in it. See that? And that, you never want to do your knotting with the kinks, because they could end up coming up in weird spots. So a lot of you know that I use a flat iron to smooth out the thread. But I noticed that even though I did the flat iron, there were still like slight little kinks. So what I did was I just got a little bit of water in my hand, and I just like dampened the cord, and then I ran the flat iron, and I ran it on I think at the 450. You can hear it sizzle and steam, and then you just look at it and it looks absolutely perfect. So and you could do that with the nylon. I mean, as long as you don't hold it in the same spot for like 15 minutes, it's not gonna like melt or burn. So that is what I'm using here. And for these rondelles, they just happen to be like little tiny beads with great, like pretty big size holes. These are 3 millimeter hematite rondelles, but look, the holes are about like, I think right at 1¼ millimeter, which made them perfect for this project. And the reason I had to add them, because these beads have really big holes, and if I were to make a knot, the knot would just go right over. So these guys, they added, besides adding a really nice touch, it helped hold the bead in place. So I'm sure a lot of you have done that, where you've done some knotting the bead is too, the main bead's too big. So you just put these little accent beads on the end, and that way you could do your knotting from there. Okay, so let me put this aside. I used a couple of rings like for the end part right here. So this is like just basically the anatomy of the necklace. Roll, not a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. You know, your pendant that's front facing. For the macrame part here, I'm using a waxed jewelry cord in the 0.5 millimeter. And you know, before I get started, one thing that I did was I took a yard, 1 yard of the thread, and I just like strung on like about 34 to 36 beads, because depending, because you need your beads to like go around here, and since I think the bead sizes, they vary just a little bit, you might like need like 1 or 2 like extra. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get my board out. And I think I mentioned front facing pendant. Okay, so let me move all this. And when you see what I did, you're going to be like, oh, that is so easy and it looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to use my big board here. Let's see. All right. And I'm going to take my necklace and let's do this. Okay, so I have I strung half the beads on, and one thing I'm doing on this necklace, it's so bizarre. It only like I used 5 beads on each side, and believe it or not, it was too long for me. So this next one, I'm going to do 4. Mostly to see how it looks, and then the other thing is, of course, to save time. So hopefully we don't run out of time. Okay, so on this side, no needle. I'm gonna like slide these beads down, and this is the pattern. You just like rondelle, 2 beads. See that? Just like the 1, 1, 2. I'll just hold this for a minute, because sometimes just being able to see it is a lot easier than trying to explain it. So you want to string this pattern on first, and just like kind of slide it down, and then you're going to find the middle of your cord. And this one, I've already trimmed it, and that's because I've already made the necklace. So what you want to do is like off that. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to get into the bracelet. I'm gonna focus on the necklace, because you know me, guys. I can like really go off on tangents, and I'm not going to do it this time. So let's so here's the center. Now we need to put our pendant on. Okay, so you take your pendant and feed, because a lark's head knot has like the pretty side and the not so pretty side, and so the front of the pendant, put your cord through, and then just put your lark's head knot just like that. See that? So you're gonna have it connected just like this. Okay, now I'm gonna come in here, and I'm going to clip this. I'm going to open this up a bit, because we are going to, like, remember that cord that had these guys here. Let me, oh my God, these things get so tangled. So this, so like I said, I took about 1 yard, and then I put like, I don't know, 36 beads. And if you have some left over, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to feed this into the lark's head knot that I just made. So I'm going to put this right in there, because the thing is, it really helps hold the cord. And if you wonder, like, well, girl, why didn't you just do a moose knot and then do the macrame? I like this transition like very, very much, because it just looks a lot cleaner. So let me get this here, and then you know what, guys? Let me bring up my my feet. Oh, just 1 second, because I lost my my JTV extra thing. Okay, so here you want to like even them out, because they're not even. And let's do that. Let's pull this so both sides are nice and even. Okay, and now you're just going to start macrameing. So you're going to do a top, and then a bottom. You know, let me look on here and see like how many I did. So I did I think that's, yeah, I think that's it. A top and a bottom. And then you slide your bead down, and then you do a top, bottom, top, bottom. So I'm going to do this like, oh, it's 10:30. I'll just go like quickly. So there's a top, bottom, and then a top, bottom. And this, in case you're wondering, the color of the Griffin cord that I'm using is beige. Okay, then you slide your bead down. Oh no, I forgot to do something really important. Okay, nix that. I'm gonna fix it. I'll get this. I'm glad I didn't, because that bead, you need to put your orange bead in there. So I'm gonna take this apart. And so this is good that this happened. So if you ever need to take a macrame apart, one thing that you can use is like a seam ripper, but without ripping the Oh, I'm glad I noticed that, because you're probably wondering, like, girl, how'd you get that big bead in the middle? So, yep, that's really important. We got to get that bead on. All right, so let's get this off. And have you guys ever had to take apart like a macrame? You know, I would like do it only if it, you know, because I'm not very like overly invested right now in the macrame. So it sometimes it's just better to start over. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my goodness. And I think the reason I don't remember that is because this design literally came out of nowhere, because originally it was supposed to be something else, and then it just turned into this. Okay, let's take that back off, because we have to put that bead on. Oh, okay. Let's get back to this. Yeah, see that? This bead here, we got to get that thing strung on. Okay, so let's take, do I have any extra? Okay, right here. Okay, so that's it. So now see how I string this on? And then I go back through. I'm so glad I noticed that. Oh. Okay, let's go back. Ooh, pull this. Okay, now you find the center. Uh-huh. Okay, let's do, okay. Ah, now it makes sense. I was like thinking to myself, something's going wrong. Okay, so now we get the pendant. We lost 2 minutes, so maybe I can like make up for that. So go through the front, flip it through just like this. And there you have your lark's head. Flip that in, and then we put these through. Okay. Does that make sense now, guys? Okay. Yes. Perfect. And then we centered these. Okay, let's do it. See, once you get it, I mean, it's not that hard. You just gotta, like, okay, tighten that in there. Oh, perfect. Yes. Make sure these are even. Okay, I'm gonna go like quickly now, only because, you know, I lost a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna do the top, bottom. And plus, I want to show you actually how easy it is to do this, because, oh my goodness, like, I saw like with Michael, you know, you guys, thank you so much for joining the show. Rhonda in Colorado, Kim, and you know, I noticed there was somebody new. I'm gonna find it. I mean, Penny in Texas, yes, and bottom, and then you go top, bottom, slide one down, slide. And I did 3 of those. So look, it's the center bead, it's almost there. I mean, this part does not, actually, it doesn't take long. This necklace honestly does not take that long to make at all. Okay, so you guys are going to socialize in Texas without me, or what? Let's see. Where are you guys going? I want to go. I'm just like looking at, like, I find those at Hobby Lobby. Michael, brilliant tip. Did I give a brilliant tip? Okay, so see, it's almost done. Ooh, ooh. Okay, top, bottom. Let's see how many I did. Top, bottom. I did 4, and then down. Okay. Oh, look at this. This was just, to me, it was so magical. And you slide, see how I'm sliding this down? Uh-huh. And then, see how I'm putting these guys around. And that's like, I say, put on, like, because I use 30 something, but, okay, right about there. See that? Isn't that like too easy? That's too easy. Tread. That's what I saw. Tread AR, yes. Thank you. So here's a top. Top and then bottom. And then let's see back here. And then I did top, bottom. I'll just go. See how easy that is? And then you're finished with that part. It literally took like 3 minutes. Okay, I started like 3 minutes ago and then done. And then what you do is you take a thread burner. Ta-ta. I highly recommend these things because they just do the job. And I know I've mentioned this before, guys. Let me blow. Ah. Try to like talk and blow at the same time. Oh my God. Okay. I'm not going to do that. And if you make a lot of jewelry, one thing that's helpful are those little tiny fans. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. Jeez. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, now this is the cool part. Ugh. Okay, now what you need to do is we're gonna string the other half of these beads, because remember, this is a pendant in the middle, and then the beads have to be evenly spaced on the side. That can be really tricky, but I've got the best tip for you, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna knot them at the same time. But let's get this other pattern on. So let's get where'd it go? I have it here. All right. Probably just easier. You know what? I'm not going to get into the other tip that I have, because it's a cool tip. I'll just talk about it while I'm stringing, because sometimes I know we've all had the problem where we want to use the griffin, but our bead gets stuck right there. That's happened to everybody. It's got to have happened. But what happens is, it does, believe it or not, a lot of the times, most of the time, the bead will fit, but you just got to put a leadered needle on there. Everybody here knows what a leadered needle is, right? I hope so, because I use those all the time. Yes, the griffin, yes. The griffin is the main part of the necklace, and I used the waxed cord to do the macrame, because it's a 12. I'm using the size of 12. This one, let's see what it says. That one, 12. It comes out looking uneven and cheap. Oh, yeah. Right, Penny? Uneven and cheap, yeah. Yeah, but this is gonna work. Wait till you see this. This is gonna be like, do I got 4 on there? No, one more. Let's see, 1, 2. And always check your pattern twice, because Penny doesn't know. Oh, Penny, you know what? I'll show you what a leadered needle is. You're gonna love it. Just 1 second. Let me just get this on here and then do this last one. Okay. What it is. Okay, I'm done here. Okay, so see, now see how both sides are even? And the so does it make sense now? Like you're like, oh, that's why these had to be strung on first, and then this side. I'll show you what a leader needle is, Penny. What I do is I take fishing line and I attach a needle to it. And if you take that like bendy, crooked needle off of the griffin, I mean, you got to like snip it off, and then you put fishing line. I tell you, it will take your jewelry making skills to the next level, because your beads have so much real estate inside of them that it doesn't even get used. But the nice thing is it makes a bigger knot. It just, those of you that like use the leader needle, like talk about it, like how it's changed your life, because it is like the best thing. I've got them everywhere. I've got like, you know, like I reuse them. So I've got this little pin cushion here that, you know, because I make them long, and then after I use it, I reuse it, because, you know, they're kind of a, you know, they require that you have to use your beautiful, precious eyesight. But now for the fun part. Ooh, you're going to love this. Okay, so you could take a knotting awl, or, you know, just anything. This is like a real thin knitting needle. You know, it's just, and I'm going to make sure, and I've got like knots on the end. Let's see, do I got my 4? Okay, I'm just going to put a knot on the end here so this stuff does not fall out. And check this out. All right, I'm going to make an overhand knot here, an overhand knot on this side, just loose. See that? And what you do is you put your knitting needle in, and then see how it just, like you can just literally at the same time knot them. So what that means is they will be like completely evenly spaced. And if you're wondering like, well, like how much, like how much spacing? That's a very good question. I am more, I got a hair, like, let me get it out of my face. I'm more about the aesthetic than like, oh, it's exactly 1 inch or 10 centimeters. I look at it, and if maybe there isn't a measurement that is on the millimeter, the centimeter scale, I just look at it and I use my inner artist, and I'm like, does that look good? That's what I do. I said, does that look like that, like good? And that's how I decide like how much space. So here's this one, there's that one. And make sure and get your little spacer bead in there. And then, see that? Ta-ta. Now, let me zoom out a bit. I feel like I'm like you're almost, oh, Penny, thank you. Oh, girl, now that we got you, we're gonna tag you. You have to make something and send it in for next week's show. Okay, so when I do the other two, the tightening beads, I'm not concerned about spacing them, so I just like come in here and just like just straight knot them. And maybe I'm not, let me like show you. I'm like loosey-goosey here. I'm just like, woo, no, like, so if you take the loop and you just like bring it up to the bead, it's like magic. See that? Just bring that loop part and then pull this part. Boom. And it's like it magically just like gets right where it needs to be. See that? Perfect. Now we are going to just keep going. Now this is the one where you want to put this thing right there, and then we're going to space. Let's take a look. Let's see. And, you know, you just like look at it and you're just like, well, this one needs it to be a little bit, you just kind of tweak it. And there's that one. And perfect. Just tighten it. Ta-ta. Isn't that like, oh, thank you, Michael. I see Joan. And you know what? I do have like tons and tons of like videos. I mean, aside from the ones that are on the JTV Extra page on my website, I do have, actually, I'm going to do these at the same time. You know, I said you don't have to, but you could. I think it just makes it, oh, look at that. Woo, faster. And then I'm going to come in here and do the same thing. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to give you a tip in case you're like, really like, gotta have it just right. Okay, this is a good one. So, okay, if you just like, I want, because I did the overhand knot, I did this one this way, and then I did this one, I did it that. If you want them to be like mirror images of each other, then this is what you do. You make your overhand knot this way, and instead of doing this one the same way, you do it the opposite way. That way, they're like facing, and this, it's a lot more pronounced when you're working with leather. So let's get these two guys on here, and I'm going to try to match the space. And you'd be surprised. I mean, you always like trust your your gut feeling, your instinct, because look at that. You just look at it and it just gives you so much more, I don't know, when you're making jewelry, just different like approaches. Because most of you know that I do my knotting, like using the backwards method where I just kind of like go like this. Oop. But since this one requires evenly spacing of the knots on and beads on two sides. Yes, Joan. Yeah, absolutely. You could do that too. I had trigger finger. Let's see. We've had trouble. Oh, I don't know what trigger finger is. Is it like something? Okay. Let me do this one. Yeah, you could do that actually. Just use the holes. Ah, ay, gracias. Patricia. Who said that? Let me see. I'm going to give proper credit. Let me see. Who said that? Uh-oh. My mouse is kind of going nuts. Welcome, Annie. Hello, Annie. Kathy. That's all I can say. I love it. Okay, so we're almost done here. Let's get this one. You know what I was thinking? When I was looking at the design, let's see, I just was reading upstream to see what I missed. Glad your hands are back. Oh, yes. Look, it's that easy. So we're done, almost done. Look at that. I mean, honestly, that was actually pretty easy, right? You just came in here, did your, let me twist this right, the macrame. But if you missed any part of it, it's pretty easy. So I was thinking on the end part, like you can do like a knot. But if you want to be extra, like one thing that you can do is you could match this a little macrame part right here. But let me get my rings. Okay, let's put a ring. And let's, oh, you know what? I've got an extra bead on there. Let's get that off. Let me cut this. And okay, one thing I do want to talk about is when you're working with the griffin, or let's say the waxed Hawaiian twist cord, you always want to, which I didn't do here, just tie a knot and then cinch it, because they're both like twisted and they could just like sprout apart like crazy at any given moment. So it's just I didn't even take that bead off. Oh. Here, let me do that again. I cut this, remove that, and then I'm going to singe this part. It just melts it to keep it like intact. And I'm going to take this ring. You know what, Kathy? I love this bracelet. It's one of my favorites. Because you know what? Okay, guys, Kathy Houston made this for me, and I just love it. It's got one of these silicone. It just makes it so easy. This is like it's it's honestly, Kathy, it's one of my most like when I'm in a hurry, I grab this bracelet because it's so fast and easy to put on. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to connect all these. And then, you know, you can just like match the spacing, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, guys. Let me get my clip. And this is an old clip. And then on this side, see, what I'm doing is I'm using the board just to like hold it. So I'm going to put another clip on this side here. And then, so I've got like a little gap right there. And then what I'm going to do this time, just to like change things up a bit, I'm going to like macrame. I think maybe I'll do let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 4. So I have on the waxed jewelry cord here on the 0.5, I've got some of these little rondelles like strung on. I'm just going to grab like a length of it because I thought, you know, this would look really cool. So let me tie this off here, just like that, just so they don't fall out. And then I'm going to take 4 and 4. And what I'm doing is like just like I did when I macrameed the pendant on. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do that same macrame. I know that a lot of you do this. I know that I've seen Kumi do this, Laura Lee. So I'm going to do a top, a bottom, and then a bead, because I want the density to be a little bit like closer. And then a top and a bottom, and then a bead. And honestly, I have no idea like how much space I put in. I just kind of like eyeballed it. Oh, see, I like that. I just felt like, the end there, it was like looking a little bit lonely. So I thought, you know what, on this one, I'll put these beads on just to connect the ring to the necklace. So I'm just gonna like this ended up perfect. Top, bottom, nice and tight, because, you are binding this stuff and it's functioning as like holding the rest of your necklace. And perfect. And then you come in with your thread zapper, and let's take this. Whoa. Ah, perfect. And what I'm going to do here, okay, I try to like keep as like few melt spots as possible. So on this one, you do not need to melt this. So what I'm going to do is like, well, I was going to say come in with some nice sharp like thread cutters, but my scissors are, they're all dull. So I'm going to come in here and cut, and that's it. And let me see if I have time to do the other side. Let's do this quickly. You know what? Let's pretend. I'm going to do this because I want to get to this part. Okay, let's just pretend that I finished the end. So basically, you can finish the end with a moose knot, or which one do you guys like better? Do you like this one here or that? This one's okay. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't know. What do you think? Let's take a look. I think this part just kind of pulls the necklace together a little bit. Give me your opinions. I want to see what you guys like. Okay. Oh, let's see. 54. I got 6 minutes. Okay. So I think most of you already can predict what I'm going to do here. what I do is I put a sliding thing. So let's see how long it takes me to do this. It should not take me long. I'm going to make a moose knot. So to make your moose knot, you just put a pin, you flip this over. Let's get this over like this. And you can put a pin and a clip anywhere on your board. What is going on? You guys ever get something stuck under your board and it's just like rolling around? Okay, pin and a clip 1 inch apart, and let's get the let's get this on. And I want to scroll down, guys. I want to see what you guys like, the extra macrame. Annie, hi Annie. Robin, I like the beat it. The beaded. Okay, thank you, Rob. I was like, girl, I did not ask about any beading. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Okay, let me get my handy needle. You don't always need the needle, but man, but you do when you're working with thin cord, because I was trying to make something with the Miyuki. And boy, was I having a hard time. Okay, back. Okay, let me show you something. If you're like, well, how long should I make this? So what I do is I put this around my head, and then I kind of like go over. But in total, you want it to be at least 26 inches. Because I have found that over the years, like if you can open it 26 inches, it's going to fit almost everybody's head, unless you're like my sister Pat, where she wears like big hats, funny hats, like Star Wars costumes, you know, and whatnot. So you just gotta, just a regular size head, it's going to like work. So then you come on this side and you do exactly the same thing. And I take about, I don't know, I work off the spool about 4 inches or so to make the moose knot on the rings. I was just, okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, I know. You know what? I always say like beat it. You know, or you could do it this way. You could, well, yeah, that works too. So let's get that on there. How am I doing on time? 3 minutes. Okay, you guys know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to come in here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to finish. Cut. 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 I'm trying to finish this before the show is over. So then I come in here, crisscross the ends over like that, and then I'm going to make a macrame sliding knot. So let's turn the board over. And everyone knows this one by now because I do this all the time, right? Do you guys know what I'm going to do? Macrame slider. 16. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to give you a tip. If you're like making a bunch of bracelets, 16 for the macrame sliding knot is the magic number. So if you're making a bunch of them, put 2 pegs 16 inches apart and just like wrap, and then cut, and then you have a bunch of pre-cut 16-inch strands. So that way you don't have to, for every bracelet you make, you don't have to like sit there and re-measure. I do that all the time. It's a great production tip. As a matter of fact, I was hoping that this project would be like shorter than it is, and I was going to like share with you some really cool production tips, but you know what? We are just almost out of time, so I'm just going to do my macrame slide knot. And the interesting thing about this, it's just like we did like here, right there on this this part of the necklace. Except when you're using waxed cord and you're doing it really tight, it's not going to slide. But when you're using a slippery cord on a slippery cord, then it's it slides much easier. So I'm using the faux leather because see that it's just nice and slidey. Yeah, you know what? I've got a lot of questions like, well, can I use waxed cord for the sliding knot? Yes, you can, but you have to do something to your thread. And so what I do is I sandwich it in between like some cloth, and I vigorously try to like wipe off as much of the wax as possible, because that helps. The less wax you have, the easier it makes it slide. So let me see. Oh my God. Oh, you guys get the idea. The macrame slide knot, the beads on the end. If my time is up and it's time to say goodbye, guys, I want you to have a very safe and happy Halloween. I'm going trick-or-treating. I mean, with my gorilla outfit. Anyway, guys, I will see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson and that you learned something. All right, bye.